Morning, it's Hump Day, Jamie James.
Happy Wednesday.
Guess what day it is? Hump Day.
It is Hump Day.
Yes.
And so we're thrilled to be here on this morning with each other. Chris, of course, in Europe, and we will see him in just a bit. Hopefully he's having a wonderful time.
Yeah, I know he is.
The news, I keep checking in on this peace deal. It's so precarious. It's so fragile. And a lot of talk yesterday was on how Hamas has not released the deceased hostages.
Right. They
and
had
that is
released
part
4,
of this deal.
but they
There's
released
supposed to be
more.
28.
Right.
And even the president was in the Oval yesterday saying, if they don't disarm, meaning Hamas, we will disarm them. He said, I don't have to explain that to you, but if they don't disarm, we will disarm them. They know I'm not playing games. So it sure seems like things were a little testy.
Mm-hmm.
And the latest is Hamas has released 4 more hostages that were deceased. So now we're up to 8.
Right.
And at least that's movement.
Mm-hmm.
And,
I'm wondering, do they know where all the bodies are, though?
I bet they do not know.
Mm-hmm.
I, had read reports that the different folks were keeping these hostages, and so perhaps they lost track. But that's not our problem.
No.
You agreed to this deal.
Exactly.
And you have to release these people back to their families.
That's
so
right.
at least there's some movement. So far, peace deal is holding.
Mm-hmm.
Another thing that's big on the news wires is this Pentagon idea that they want reporters to change the way they do their jobs.
So they only can report things that have been approved by the Pentagon.
Yes, and Pete Hegseth had talked about this in a cabinet meeting about these changes.
You have to wear a badge that identifies that you're press, or you can't just roam anywhere you want. It used to be, Mr. President, the press could go anywhere, pretty much anywhere in the Pentagon, the most classified area in the world. Or also that if they sign on to the credentialing, they're not going to try to get soldiers to break the law by giving them classified information. So it's common sense stuff.
Okay, so that's how Hegseth describes it. Basically, the way journalists are taking it is you're making it criminal to ask questions, to ask different people in that building, for the behind the scenes stuff. There's a opinion piece from NPR here from, let's see, who's this guy? Tom Bowman. He said he covered the Pentagon for 28 years.
Okay.
You know the things he did? He would roam the halls and actually talk to the generals about what was going on. And twice he reported on things by just getting information. Then Defense Secretary Donald Rumsfeld was, talking about the fall of Baghdad in 2003, that it was a huge success.
Mm-hmm.
This guy, the reporter, talked to people in the building and said it's not a success. Saddam Hussein supporters are attacking our supply lines. Now we have to send more troops back to guard them. So he reported that.
Yeah.
That was what was really happening. In 2009, in the Obama administration, they talked about this surge to Afghanistan.
Yeah.
He talked to people, a Marine officer who told him, if there was a surge, we never saw it. We're in trouble, basically. And the guy reported it. So it was 2 different administrations, but he's getting the information, he's reporting it.
Yeah, and I know they don't want, classified information out, but you can't do that. It's a law. You can't. It's a law. You can't report classified information, from what I understand.
Right. Everyone wore badges anyway.
Yeah.
Journalists knew what was classified and what wasn't,
Absolutely.
and they followed rules.
Yes.
That was already there. Jack Keane was on Brett Baier last night, and this is what he had to say about this new policy.
What they're really doing, they want to spoon feed information to the journalists, and that will be their story. That's not journalism. Journalism is going out and finding the story and getting all the facts to support it. And no one's going to walk in and bang on a door of a 4-star general or senior civilian policy leader in the Pentagon. I never had that, but I did have journalists chasing a story of something that was going on in the Army, and those things were legitimate. And if anything, what would frustrate us in times is we didn't beat you to it, and something bad is happening, and we're getting our act together to do it. And sometimes, well, let's wait a couple of days before we talk about that, and you guys are on it. And that's journalism.
That's journalism.
It is. I mean, it's either journalism or you want to turn it into state-run media, like
spoon-fed, like he
Putin.
said.
Yeah, in Russia.
So 5 major broadcast news networks have signed on to this statement. Today, we join virtually every other news organization in declining to agree to these new requirements, which would restrict journalists' ability to keep the nation and the world informed of important national security issues. NBC, ABC, CBS, CNN, and Fox News.
And so I think OAN was the only one who signed on.
Yeah.
So now do these
They'll
reporters
go to
have
the
to go
briefing.
through?
they'll go to the briefing room, and OAN will have one chair, and that'll be it.
And then reporters have to go to OAN to get information because they're going to be the only one that has
No,
information?
they say they're going to report on the Pentagon, but just in a different way.
Gotcha. Okay. Well, Detroit voters will get a chance to hear directly from the city's top mayoral candidates tonight in a live debate hosted by Channel 7. City Council President Mary Sheffield, Pastor Solomon Kinlock Jr., they're going to face off after emerging as the top two candidates in the primary. Sheffield is a 12-year council veteran, was the front runner in the primary. Kinlock, the senior pastor at Triumph Church, he earned the second spot on the ballot. The debate will be held at Channel 7 studios in Southfield, broadcast live on Channel 7, and also streamed on their platforms. The debate will be moderated by 7 News Detroit Public Affairs Director Chuck Stokes and anchor Carolyn Clifford. Michigan voters will choose their next mayor on Election Day, which is November 4th, less than a month away.
It's coming up.
It'll be here before
And
you
the
know
Free
it.
Press just endorsed
Mary
Mary
Sheffield. Yes. So the Detroit News had endorsed Mary Sheffield about a month or so ago, and now the Free Press has endorsed Mary Sheffield as well.
All right, so we'll have a recap of whatever they say
Yes.
tomorrow morning
We
on
sure
JR
will.
Morning with Jamie and Lloyd.
Yes.
Okay, the Gordie Howe Bridge, I'm looking out the window.
Yeah.
What's the latest, Lloyd?
Well, officials say that they're going to, those waiting to cross the bridge will have to be patient a little longer because the new bridge crossing between Detroit and Windsor had been scheduled to open late this year. But the Windsor-Detroit Bridge Authority now says it could open as soon as early 2026. Construction largely complete, including a half-mile deck and a massive cable stretching from concrete towers. Crews recently disassembled the towering cranes that helped build the structure, a process that required careful planning and precision. Testing and quality reviews are now underway to ensure the bridge is fully ready before it opens. And once finished, the crossing will not only serve vehicles but also provide paths for bikes with specially designed pavement, lighting, and signage. Officials emphasize that this careful preparation is standard for such large and complex projects, ensuring both safety and operational readiness. We're trying to
do all the testing and quality reviews.
Right,
Do
'cause
all that you need to do.
because we want to do a remote from the bridge. I know you don't, but
Oh, you keep talking about that. You have a lovely time with that, Lloyd. No thanks. And finally, it was a somber day at the White House when the president awarded Charlie Kirk the Presidential Medal of Freedom.
He was assassinated in the prime of his life for boldly speaking the truth, for living his faith and relentlessly fighting for a better and stronger America. He loved this country. And that's why this afternoon it's my privilege to posthumously award Charles James Kirk our nation's highest civilian honor, the Presidential Medal of Freedom. Thank you.
Erica Kirk, his wife, was there. His parents were there.
Yeah.
I believe it was Erica's mom who was standing next to her. It was very somber and
It really
sad. They
was.
played Amazing Grace after it was all over. Here's Erica Kirk after accepting the Medal of Freedom.
Charlie's life was proof that freedom is not a theory, it's a testimony. He showed us that liberty begins not in the halls of power, but in the man of a heart surrendered to God. And so today, as we honor Charlie with this incredible Presidential Medal of Freedom on his birthday, I stand here with tears and just a humbled heart and spirit because his story reminds us all that to live free is the greatest gift, but to die free is the greatest victory. Happy birthday, my Charlie. Happy Freedom Day.
It was his
Wow.
birthday. He was
I
just
know.
going to be 32 years old. Young,
Wow.
young man, snuffed out. And so it was a nice ceremony. And the
She talked about
president-
the daughter,
I know.
what the daughter
I couldn't
said.
pull it. I
Oh,
couldn't
God,
pull
it
that
was too-
fight.
yeah,
It's too much for
it
me.
was too
'cause
much,
She was
yeah.
talking about what she wanted to give her dad
Dad
for his birthday.
and then the little boy who was, still too young. His present was he was fully potty trained.
Oh,
Yeah,
see,
was
that's
his
the
present.
regular, everyday part of life that I think is the saddest part of this story. It's
It-
a dad who is no longer there.
Absolutely.
And, the president riffed. We have to go here, but he
Mm-hmm.
riffed and he was saying the craziest things. One was like, I just had a long flight. I was going to call Erica to see if I could move it, but I didn't do it because it was Charlie's birthday.